The BBC was branded an utter disgrace today after one of its war correspondents speculated that an attack on a hospital in Gaza was caused by Israelis, without evidence. The explosion, which left hundreds dead or severely injured, was declared likely to have been caused by Israel, with the correspondent in Jerusalem being reported as saying it was hard to see what else it could have been other than an Israeli airstrike. He clarified that the pictures were yet to be verified, but the speculation caused an uproar among some viewers, who emailed in to complain, prompting the BBC to issue an apology. Your reporting of this explosion is an utter disgrace. How dare you take sides in this manner without fully investigating the evidence? Simon Barnard quizzed. First we had the reluctance to reference Hamas as terrorists. Then we had the unquestioning acceptance that Israel had bombed the hospital, Ian Page chimed in. Eric Brown added, "If the BBC reports that Israel has bombed a hospital killing hundreds of men, women and children, I would expect it to have checked the veracity of such a claim first." Oren Hellerman also emailed the BBC, exclaiming, "Your hasty dissemination of information sourced solely from the Gaza Health Ministry, which is known to be influenced by Hamas, without conducting thorough fact-checking is a grave misstep." Although the war correspondent was transparent about the fact he had no evidence Israel had caused the strike, he had also stated had never seen explosions on such a scale being caused by rockets fired within Gaza. Reacting to complaints that it had presented biased news coverage, the BBC accepted that it had been wrong. In a statement, the channel said, "We accept that even in this fast-moving situation, it was wrong to speculate in any way, although our correspondent did not at any point report that it was an Israeli strike." It added, "This doesn't represent the entirety of BBC output. Anyone watching, listening to or reading our coverage can see we have set out both sides' competing claims about the explosion, clearly showing who is saying them and what we do or don't know." There was additional concern among some viewers, as reported on BBC Breakfast this morning, that coverage of the conflict in Gaza had eclipsed the Ukraine-Russia war. Some viewers wrote in to complain that they hadn't heard anything about the situation in Ukraine that day, and quizzed whether the war there was over. Meanwhile, the BBC also recently apologised for appearing to suggest that pro-Palestinian demonstrators protesting in London last weekend had been Hamas supporters. The channel was branded factually incorrect and extremely offensive and dangerous in emails from viewers. Apologising, the Newswatch newsreader clarified on BBC Breakfast, "We spoke about several demonstrations across Britain, during which people voiced their support for Hamas. We accept that this was poorly phrased and was a misleading description of the pro-Palestinian demonstrations."